Today we're going to look at the games I finished this year, the games I'm really enjoying, and the games that I'm looking forward to playing in 2025. So we're going to just go through my library and I'm going to talk you through it. One of the first games that I finished on the Steam Deck was Beyond Two Souls. It is a cinematic, story-based, choice-based game, and the story is really good. I won't give away too much, but basically this character is imbued with superpowers thanks to a science experiment, and there's a twist at the end. They go through a whole sort of self-discovery journey. Really nice story, really nice game. I seem to remember now that it was not ideal on Steam Deck. I think it does say that it's Steam Deck compatible, but a lot of the gameplay was difficult, and you can feel that it was a PC game ported to the deck. So that's the one huge downside. But other than that, absolutely lovely story, and I really enjoyed that game. The other game, sort of baptism of fire. I think this was the first game that I started playing and finished on the Steam Deck. I started Death Stranding and I didn't get very far. There was something about it in the beginning that I struggled to get into the game. I don't know if the story was a little bit complicated, if the controls were complicated. I don't recall what it was, but I picked it up a few months later and got completely engrossed in the story. I think the difficulty in the beginning is how weird it is. There's so many weird things about the way that this game is made, the story, the sort of character traits, all those sort of things. And it took me a while to really understand what Hideo Kojima was trying to do with this game. And I know this is a very divisive game. When it first came out, some people hate it, some people love it. I really enjoyed it. Eventually, it almost felt like a cozy game. I just wanted to deliver some packages and see the scenery. That's kind of where you end up with this game. If you get hung up on the actors in some of the cutscenes, you are going to have a hard time with this game. But there's just so much to love about it. The scenery is epic. Some of the zip lines and the things that you do throughout the game are so enjoyable to do. And so that sort of repetitive nature of the game was probably the thing that I enjoyed the most about it. I'm going to include this in games I finished for the year, but I haven't finished it, is Fallout 4. Absolutely engrossing game, a game that you just cannot stop playing, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't finish it, not because it wasn't good, but because it was just taking up so much of my time. The story is very complex and there's a lot of side missions, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to the mainline story and get this game finished. I love the fact that there's a dog. I have a German Shepherd Cross Malinois dog, so it was just so lovely to have my dog with me throughout the game. The character, I set up a female character because the TV series is that female character, so I kind of felt like I was playing the TV series. Just a great game, a lot of monsters to defeat, a lot of stealth fighting, you can go in guns blazing, really cool sideline stories. If you just stop and listen to some of the conversations of some of the characters, really fun and interesting. Forza, another game that I'm going to include in the games I finished this year, even though I haven't finished it, is just one of my favorite racing games. The graphics are incredible, and it's just so nice to sit on the couch and go through a few races with Forza Horizon. Now, here's where a lot of the hardcore gamers are going to have an issue with me. I love these choice-based story games, and there were moments in this game where I found it a little bit frustrating. Like I said, it was kind of a little bit generic here and there. But overall, there's just Hollywood actors in it, a typical teen slasher movie, and there was just a lot to enjoy about this game. I replayed the ending. I quickly exited and replayed because I didn't understand the ending. So the ending was a bit strange. It didn't make sense. You didn't know what to do at the end. And so I don't want to give it away, but eventually I just jumped out of the game and came back, and I happened to have the save just before I did the ending. So a few little quirks like that in this game. But other than that, I just love these cinematic story-based games. A Quiet Place, another one that I think a lot of the die-hard gamer guys are going to have a problem with me liking. I like walking sims, and so I'll show you the other game that I finished this year that kind of whet my appetite for really good cinematic walking sims. This is not as good as the other one that I'm going to show you. It's just stealth all the way. I think the thing that makes this game and that keeps you going with this game is the fact that you have just tension for hours on end, and then you get a moment of relief where it's just a room where you get to hang out for a few minutes, and that's the game. That's pretty much the game. You kind of sneak around until the very end. I feel like the ending was a little bit of a letdown, but I'm hoping it kind of leads to the next thing. So yeah, it wasn't too expensive as a new game, and I was just happy to play A Quiet Place. I'm a fan of the franchise. So yeah, if you like walking sims and you don't mind just being in stealth mode the entire game, then you might enjoy this. Another game, you never really finished, Tetris, but I wanted to add this in as games that I've loved and games that I've finished this year. Tetris Connected is just wonderful. Put it on some XR glasses with the surround sound and it's just absolutely fantastic. It's a whole vibe. Okay, Walking Dead. This is my first Telltale game and I still haven't finished it. I played it on the PC and when I got the Steam Deck, I started from the beginning. Hadn't quite finished it on the PC yet. I played it from the beginning and then I lost some of my saves and then I restarted from sort of the middle of the game. I love it so much that I don't want it to end. I love the Walking Dead TV series. I enjoy, as I mentioned, these choice-based story games. The graphics are in line with the graphic novels, and so it's just a wonderful combination of the TV show and the graphic novels brought together, and I almost feel like this is more enjoyable than the TV series. I'm just so in love with the whole storyline, the way that they set it up, the way that Skybound came in and rescued the final season. It really is just a fantastic game, and if you like choice-based games and you like zombie stuff, you're going to absolutely like that. This is a character development show. The TV show is the same. It's all about the characters. It's all about how they develop and how they grow. And I'm a massive fan. I love this. I think once I'm done, I'm just going to start it again and keep playing it through 2025. Now, What Remains of Edith Finch is an utter masterpiece. It's only 2.3 gigabytes. It is a walking sim. The voiceover acting is just like top notch, some of the best I've heard in a game. The graphics are lovely, nice modern graphics. And I really enjoyed the progression of the story. There's a bit of a twist at the end. I still kind of wonder what exactly happened at the end, and I want to play it again just to kind of get a full depth of what they were trying to do with the story. Lovely walking sim. A really cozy game. A lovely game to just put a set of headphones on and just listen to the character talk while you play. I absolutely can't recommend this enough. It's probably one of the best walking sims around. And then Wolfenstein, nearly finished the New Colossus. The Wolfenstein New Order is one of the first-person shooter games that I have finished in recent memory, because I took a long hiatus from sort of the modern gaming, and so I'm playing catch-up and I'm enjoying all these things. And this game, I think, was perfect to get into that. I'm a Wolfenstein 3D fan from the olden days, and so getting into this and how they stayed true to form to the original game and made it modern with the cool graphics and the wonderful like motion and character development of the main character. Very good first-person shooter series by Bethesda. And, I'm moving on to the New Colossus. I spoke to someone who played all of these games, including Old Blood, which is not as good, but he played all of these games in one weekend, so it really is exceptional. Okay, now games that I'm busy playing that I'm thoroughly enjoying. Let's go through. Crysis. I've started with number 1, and it might be a little bit clunky for some people because it is an older first-person shooter, but a really cool first-person shooter. Like, I just love the whole vibe, like fighting aliens and baddies and kind of running around. It's really cool. And then Doom, I just haven't finished because there's not a very strong story to carry you through the game, but I love picking up Doom and just blowing a few monsters up. The Last of Us, excellent cinematic story game. I'm only in the first few hours of it and I love it. Very good game. And this is the game that made me understand why people buy things like an Xbox or a PlayStation just to play a game. Because the part 2 is only on PlayStation, and I really want to play part 2. This is an absolute masterpiece. Wonderful game. Prey, another older first-person shooter that I'm getting into. Great, gripping sci-fi storyline, so I'm excited about getting further into the story. A little bit difficult to play initially, so I'll get used to it and we'll see how that one goes. The Resident Evil 7, I think it is, the Biohazard. It's too scary for me. It's just too gross and I might play it again when I feel the mood because it is very good. Just started this one, so I started with the other Tomb Raider. What's this one? Just Tomb Raider, the reboot. And I've started now with Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I much prefer it. So I'm excited about getting into Rise of the Tomb Raider over the holidays. Stray, another really cool sort of cyberpunkish vibe with a cat. I haven't finished it, but it is really enjoyable just to pick up and play. Also sort of like a cozy-ish game. The Wolf Among Us, I think this is one of Telltale's first games, and I've only played the first sort of 15 minutes, and I'm gripped. Like, I can't wait to get into the story. Another sort of graphic novel style story-based game. I just can't wait to get into this one. And then games that I haven't started that I'm really looking forward to, most of them are sort of cinematic story-based games. I've got the Telltale game by Batman. Really looking forward to getting into that. Apparently it's very good. I've also got the sequel, so looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to playing the other Crysis games. The Expanse, another choice-based story game. I've just started, I've had a look at it, and that is going to be a really fun one. They did a TV series which didn't do very well, but this is going to be a great one for 2025 for me. Life is Strange is an interesting one. It is a story that each season has got a different character who develops superpowers. Sort of cinematic story, also sort of cozy-ish in some, like, you know, coastal American town, North American town. So that should be quite fun. I haven't gotten into it, but I am quite excited. I've seen a lot of the trailers and I'm really excited to play Life is Strange. And so, yeah, as you can see, I am not a seasoned gamer. I've been playing and that's why I'm very reluctant to get very into this on my channel until I'm more informed on these things. So if you know a lot about cinematic games, story-based games, give me some recommendations in the comments below, because that's definitely what I'm going to be sort of gorging myself on in 2025. Quite looking forward to it. Yeah, and happy gaming for the Christmas season and into 2025. I'll see you in the new year.